Hello, everybody. Good afternoon if you are in my time zone, but I just wanted to do a quick video. I am currently in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and I know the lighting's not the best, but I wanted you to see the view outside my apartment window. It's the apartment's called the Secret Garden, and I have a little courtyard here, and it's just beautiful. So I just wanted to go over my true opinion about Mexico and Puerto Vallarta since I'm here, and just kind of, I don't know, give you guys my feelings about traveling here. So first of all, I want to let you guys all know that I am here by myself. I just finished a Romance Travel University conference that was in Riviera Nayarit, about 45 minutes from here. And afterwards, I decided to book myself into a little apartment in the downtown area of Puerto Vallarta. I think I'm in the neighborhood that's called the Centro. I'm about 3 blocks from the Malecon, which is the boardwalk that goes along the beach. And there's all sorts of shops and restaurants there. It's a beautiful area. I keep seeing like blinking lights behind me. I'm not really sure what that's about, but it's probably the sun coming through with the wind outside. There's a little bit of a breeze. So, you know, as a woman, I'm here by myself. This is my first time actually staying in Mexico by myself. I have traveled by myself to other countries though. Usually I'm with some sort of tour, but I have spent days where I'm out on my own. So not my first time doing solo travel, but my first time doing solo travel in Mexico. But my family, we have traveled extensively in Mexico outside of resorts and stuff. When we lived in Arizona, we used to drive down to Puerto Penasco, also known as Rocky Point. And then when we were traveling full time, we actually spent 3 weeks in the Riviera Maya, Cancun area, and rented a car, drove to Tulum, and we were at resorts, but we spent a lot of time off of the resort grounds as well. So I think I would consider myself well-traveled in Mexico. I mean, if I had to add up the time I've been there, I've definitely spent months of my life in Mexico. This is I'm thinking it's like my 6th or 7th time in Puerto Vallarta. I think it's only the second time I've stayed like on the ground though. Usually it's for a cruise. I'd come in for the day. So, and this is definitely my first time staying downtown. I stayed at one of the resorts before, and then I just stayed at a resort before this. So overall, you know, people are always worried about the safety in Mexico. I hear that so much, especially when I was doing destination weddings. I would get people be like, oh, I don't want to do Mexico. Because they hear so much on the news, but then they would say something like, oh, but I want to go to the Dominican Republic, which to me is silly because pretty much this is just something that you can always consider. Any place that has an all-inclusive resort is typically going to be a country that is maybe a lower socioeconomic standing, and so safety and stuff like that, it's all going to be pretty similar. Like they're all going to be places that some people might not feel safe to go off the resort. Now, I don't believe that. I believe that if you're smart and just take the same precautions you would traveling in any city in the United States, especially as a solo woman, you're safe. You know, things happen everywhere. Like I can't guarantee you're going to be safe. I can't guarantee you're going to be safe going outside of your house. There is things, but I mean, honestly, if I was not from the United States and I heard all the stuff going on there, I would be afraid to travel to the United States, probably more so than a lot of the other places that I travel. I mean, there's just crazy stuff going on in the United States. So I don't really feel like we have the right to be so judgmental of some of these other places. Sometimes I know people are trying to be safe, but the news sensationalizes stuff. So yesterday I went and did a food tour. I'm going to post lots of photos and stuff on my social media. We did resort tours. I'll give you some honest reviews of some of the resorts we toured. And then I did a food tour. Last night, it was like a tacos tour. We walked all over the Romantic District and the Centro District and there's 3 of them, and I don't remember the other name, but we had tacos. We had some churros that were made right on the street. I have a cool video of that. It was really fun. And then it got over pretty late. I think it was over at like 9. And I had to walk about, it was about a 17-18 minute walk back to my apartment last night by myself. So I didn't feel like I was in danger. That I didn't have anything weird happen. Nobody talked to me. Nobody like gave me side eye. So, because even I get a little worried about things like that as a woman. I mean, that's just, I mean, I'm sure men have their things, but as a little girl and then as a woman, I've always had to worry about my safety. I think like in that, like make sure that somebody's not following me or, make sure I have my keys out before I get to the door and ready to stab somebody with them if I need be. But I worry about those things in the United States too, if I'm walking somewhere in the dark. So, but there was no weirdness. And as for just the general, I've walked around like this morning, I walked along the beach, the Malecon. I was looking for coffee. They have a Starbucks. I considered it, but I was like, no, don't go to Starbucks. So I went and found a little restaurant. It was full. So I just went and I got a nice coffee and one of their little pastries and walked back to my apartment, stopped in the local little, what is it, OX or whatever, the little convenience stores they have here, got some water because the water's not drinkable here. So you got to get bottled water. And got a little snack and another coffee because I drink a lot of coffee. And yeah, it's beautiful. You walk around, people don't bug you. If you go into the tourist areas where they're selling stuff, they're gonna, want you to buy stuff. But even that, I find Puerto Vallarta is so much better about like that. Like I enjoy all of Mexico for different reasons, but Puerto Vallarta, I really am enjoying just staying in the downtown area because I feel like it's much more, I don't want to say authentic, but it's like there's people living their lives here and you can kind of be immersed in like what's going on. Like when you go to the boardwalk, it's not just white people down there or, there's the everybody's there together. There's shows there, I don't know. I just like that. Like it's Cancun, Riviera Maya. Like when you go Playa del Carmen, I felt was kind of the same, but the Cancun area just felt like it was a whole bunch of Americans and Canadians maybe down there. And the only, Mexicans that were there were trying to sell you something. It wasn't really them living their life. They were there to hustle. And not just, I don't really care for like one, I'm not much into the shopping stuff anyways. And I don't like having to tell people no, thank you all the time. And I feel bad if I don't say anything to them. I'm getting better about that, but it bugs me less and less. But yeah, it's Puerto Vallarta feels like this downtown area feels much different. Now, I was talking to our guide yesterday. He was from here, grew up here, and he used to live close to this area. And like all places that become touristy, the locals are getting pushed out and now they're building like really nice condos and stuff like that. I was looking like there's like $600,000-$700,000 condos going in downtown. So it's becoming less and less affordable for the locals to live here, which is sad. I guess it's good and bad. Like the tourism money definitely helps everybody here, like having people that are wealthy and have money to buy a $700,000 condo. They're shopping at the restaurants, or so. Let's see. What else do I want to say? Food, really good. We did the taco trucks. Had everything from fish, marlin, which is like they call the bacon of the sea. It was really good. Shrimp, pork. Trying to think, chicken. I think, yeah, we had. I mean, it was really good. And I'll post places we went and pictures and all of that on my social. What else? There's a lot of really cute, like there are some all-inclusives here. I would say that the majority of the all-inclusives are going to be a little bit more rustic would be the nice way of saying it, I guess, than some of the other destinations in Mexico. A lot of them are older. They're not as, modern or updated as some places. There's definitely a wide variety. There's everything from like super luxurious upscale to, more like 3-star. I mean, there's even some, obviously lower ones, but things that I would book for my clients. There is the variety, but I do feel like um, there's a lot of benefits to not staying in an all-inclusive in this area. There's so many different tours you can do. There's just being downtown is amazing. There's places like a lot of day trips that you can do from here. Sayulita, there's some other, I'm not even going to try to pronounce all the little cities and communities that you can go do stuff out here, but just a lot of like Yelapa. I've been to Yelapa. That one's really cool. Just so there's a lot to do here to keep you busy. So you really, and honestly, like when I think all inclusive, like I just kind of want to be like at the resort if I'm paying for that. Like I'm paying for the food, I'm paying for the drinks. So I want a nice beach and a nice pool. There are nice beaches in Puerto Vallarta, but most of the resorts are not located on what I would consider a nice beach. It's not turquoise water. It is the west coast of Mexico. So you're on the Pacific Ocean, which is not, to me, I mean, I don't think the Atlantic Ocean is that gorgeous either, but the Gulf Coast is beautiful, and the Caribbean Sea is beautiful. So, yeah. So when you think about that, like at the resort we were at, it was red flag the whole time. The ocean can be pretty, it's good for surfing. And I haven't found that it's like amazing for snorkeling. I haven't scuba dived here, so I can't say much about scuba diving, but anyways, I just don't like if your just main thing is like the beach and you just have to know, like if you love the Pacific Ocean and the Pacific beach and you like the Costa Rican beaches and you like, these Mexican beaches and you like, Los Angeles, Southern California beaches, then you'll be okay. But if you're like me and you've traveled pretty extensively over on the East Coast and the Caribbean, you might be a little bit spoiled and you're not going to really maybe think so much of these beaches. I don't know. It is very subjective. What one person likes is not what the other person likes. That's why, you can't just go online and read reviews and be like, oh, well, it's got all this. And, or my cousin Jane said that she really liked it. It depends on what your priorities are, what's important to you, and where you've been, where you've traveled. Like somebody who hasn't traveled much is going to be much more easily pleased, most likely, than somebody who's traveled all over the world, has been my experience. So I've traveled a lot. So I'm starting to get, I mean, I still love it here. I just love it for different reasons. I'm not coming here for the beach. I know that that's not going to be the thing that does it for me here. I love the culture, the food, the architecture. Oh, it's just beautiful old buildings and all the ironwork and the lush, like the flowers and the trees and the birds. And it's just a beautiful jungle paradise, basically. So for me, it's like those things I love. So it makes me happy. If you like shopping though, I mean, there's art too. There's a big art scene here. I've seen tons of galleries. There's lots of street art, murals, and just beautiful. They have this one park I'll post pictures of that's all like mosaic tile work all over all the benches and just beautiful stuff. So I think if you like to shop, if you like to eat good food, if you like art, if you like being immersed in culture, if you like, being with the locals and having the local experience, not everybody speaks really good English here. You're going to go into some places and have to play charades like I do, which is fine for me. I know enough to get by. I've been in Mexico for a month at a time, and I've been in Argentina and Buenos Aires for a month at a time, and I got by just fine. I figure it out. They figure it out. I find that it works just fine. It hasn't been an issue for me. Let's see, what else? I don't know. I can't think of anything else, but I definitely will be posting a lot of photos and more information. I'm planning on doing another foodie tour either today or tomorrow. She only had me signed up for today, so she might bump me till tomorrow. And it's going to be with a local company, and we're going to be going about 15 minutes from downtown to another little neighborhood. It's supposed to be like a very like authentic, off the beaten path situation. So that's going to be exciting. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. But if you are a solo traveler, food tours are amazing. Like, you don't want to eat by yourself. I mean, it's going to be a little bit more expensive maybe, but you get, like, I met 3 other couples yesterday. One was from Alaska, one was from Chicago, one was from California, had the tour guide. So I got to go around and see things and learn about things that I wouldn't, because it's like a little bit of a history tour. You get to hear, the perspective of your guide, especially, hopefully they're a local person that it was last night. So it's a great, like, I highly, highly, highly recommend food tours. I have been on quite a few now, like, because that is the one thing. Like, if I can go someplace and do a food tour, I always do it. I have not had a bad food tour experience so far, and it is a great way to get your bearings and learn and like a lot of people do the hop on hop off trolley tours. I say do a food tour. I think that actually is a better way to, like, the first night or maybe the first day that you're, like, the next day after you arrive, try to do a food tour, because you'll get to sample some restaurants. And, like, if you're not at like an all-inclusive resort, then oh, I want to come back there and eat. So it's a great way to learn some good places, so you don't get stuck in the yucky tourist trap places that aren't any good. Because some places are good at marketing, and some places are good at actually having good food. So you get to find the ones that actually have the good food, not just good marketing or paying people like the cabbies to bring them. Oh, taxis buses. We're at the food tour with most of them riding the local bus. I have not by myself. We rode the bus for part of the food tour, and it was fine. I wasn't sure, like, the peso situation and stuff like that. If I was here with Nate, my husband, I'd figure it out. I wouldn't be afraid. I've ridden all the subways and the buses, and it's fine. You just have to figure it out. And, like, the first time is always a little like, ooh, am I doing it right? And where to get on, where to get off, all that kind of stuff. But they've been riding the buses and they didn't have any problem. But cabs are really easy here. You just always make sure you find out how much first, because I have had the experience where they tried to, like, charge me way too much because I didn't negotiate. Sorry, the video is not great. The Wi-Fi is not the best. When we were at the resort, I brought a group of us down to the boardwalk, to the Malecon, because they hadn't been here before. And I wanted, like, to me, the resort is okay. I mean, it was okay. But, like, the Malecon, the boardwalk, the downtown area, that's where, if, like, you go into Puerto Vallarta and you haven't been to that area, you haven't been. Like, it's like saying you've been to Hawaii because you flew in the Honolulu airport or something like that. It's, you got to go out. So we got a cab down for one price, and then we went to get another one on the way back. We needed the van, and they're, like, asking how much we paid to get there. And it's like, I don't know. I'm getting more savvy about all this stuff. So it's like, so one of the ladies that said, oh, say this price. And we said it was actually less than what we paid, because they kind of price gouged us on the way there. They charged us more than they should have. But so we got it for cheaper going back, because we told them it was a different price. So everything, I mean, not everything, but a lot of things are negotiable. And if you don't, but I think I'll end this. It's almost been 20 minutes, and I hope I gave you some information that was useful. If there's anything you want me to talk about that you think about with travel, you have questions about, let me know. I'm going to try to do more of these videos. And anyways, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm going to get a little work done and get ready to go out and enjoy some more time in Puerto Vallarta. So talk to you all later.